Hi, good afternoon, folks. In this video, we're going to take a little deeper look into the CBA and the Jack Eichel drama coming up. All right, I want to take a little deeper of a look into this. I did something similar to this a few months back, but since we're back in the crisis of this again, soon to be, let's take a little deeper look into the CBA, just certain parts of it that are specifically what we're dealing with when it regards to Jack Eichel. So I'm going to put a clip up there. Let me open it. All right, there you go. Now, it says, this is Cba Section 34.4. It says a player may seek a second medical opinion regarding a diagnosis made by a team physician or a course of treatment prescribed by a team physician from a list of medical specialists with outstanding reputation and experience in their area of expertise, as may be evidenced by 1, a strong publication, presentation and or lecture record in the relevant area of expertise, 2, a record of superior performance and knowledge in his or her principal area of clinical practice, or 3, substantial experience in the provision of clinical care to elite athletes as agreed upon by the Joint Health and Safety Committee. The medical specialists on the second medical opinion list shall be listed by specialty and by geographic region. Okay, so in that first clip you seen right there, the key was, for me, when it comes to Jack, it says by specialty and by geographic region. So we did this. We absolutely did this. There's nothing, there's no stone left unturned, I guarantee, with the Sabres. But I guarantee that the Sabres, in the beginning of all this, went through all this thoroughly. They made sure legally they're going to, because they might know that Jack might be a bit of a loose cannon. Don't think they don't know, they know. And they might have looked at this very thoroughly and said, okay, we've got to go by the book, which is the CBA. And they went that route, and there's nothing you see there that the Sabres did not do in that first paragraph. But I want to move on because really that's not what I want to get to. Here's the next clip. Okay, here we go. The Joint Health and Safety Committee shall review and update the second medical opinion list on an annual basis, and shall also have the ability to remove any second medical opinion physician from the second medical opinion list at any time if there exists a serious basis for doing so, including credible concerns regarding a second medical opinion physician's integrity, bias, motivation, professionalism, conflict of interest, qualifications, or a repeated inability to promptly provide a verbal and written report to the player and to the player's NHL club. So what you've seen there, okay, and these are the things that I'm telling you, these are the specific paragraphs that an arbitrator is really gonna, you know, he's a judge, basically. He's gonna look at this stuff and see if we did all this, because when it comes down to this, it's in stone already. It's if we did it or not. That's what the bottom line is with something like this. But folks, if you look at that paragraph again later, I'll tell you the 3 key words in there are conflict of interest. And this is gonna be, I guarantee you, this is gonna be the loophole that Jack's gonna try to expose in front of an arbitration hearing. I guarantee it. It's what people do that want to abuse the law. It's just the way it is. But, you know, it also says, you know, did we have a repeated inability or promptly provide a verbal or written report to the player? We did all this, guaranteed. And to the NHL Players Club. But, you know, we did everything in writing, guaranteed. I guarantee it. I mean, there's a second medical opinion list at any time if there exists a serious basis for doing so, which he thought there was, including credible concerns. You know, like the Joint H&S Committee shall review. So you can look at our opinions, but it comes down to the Joint Health and Safety Committee in this. It's not up to Jack. It's really not up to us. It's up to them. All this happens pretty quickly, you know? Okay, now let's get to the next. Let me open up the next clip. Don't want to confuse you guys too much, but it really is kind of black and white. But that conflict of interest thing for me is the key for Jack. Okay, here we go. Third clip. Now it says, if the Joint Health and Safety Committee is unable to agree upon the selection or removal of a physician from the second medical opinion list, the matter shall be referred to the panel of experts. That's where you see POE in the collective bargaining agreement. Anytime you see POE, folks, it's panel of experts, just so you know. As described in subsection 34.9 for review and recommendation. The panel of experts shall issue a written recommendation to the Joint Health and Safety Committee as to whether or not a physician should be selected to or removed from the second medical opinion list within 60 days of the date of referral. The Joint Health and Safety Committee shall conduct a vote whether to accept or reject the panel of experts' recommendation within 30 days of its issuance. Unless a majority of the members of the Joint Health and Safety Committee vote to reject the panel of experts' recommendation, the panel of experts' recommendation shall constitute the final and binding determination of the Joint Health and Safety Committee. I'm going to show you in a second. There's one more clip to go. It's not much here today, folks. I just want to touch on this because what we're looking at is really a trial. It's kind of what it is when it comes to these things. It's, you know, who's legally in the right. This is what it's going to come down to. And the panel of experts, okay, I'm going to show you in a second here. Let me just get out of this one and I'll get that clip open. How the panel of experts is formed is important. Okay, here we go. Now, this is Cba Subsection 34.9. The NHL and the NHLPA shall establish a panel of experts for the purposes of providing recommendations and opinions in matters governed by the provisions of Sections 34.1 and 34.4, and who may be delegated certain additional responsibilities only whereas mutually agreed upon by the NHL and the NHLPA. Here it is, the composition of the POE, the panel of experts. The POE will be a standing body composed of 3 physicians with substantial experience in sports medicine, and who shall have successfully completed a fellowship in sports medicine or have other sports medicine qualifications, as the parties may agree. The NHL and the NHLPA shall each independently select 1 physician, who together shall be delegated to select the 3rd physician. The 3rd physician shall serve as the chair of the POE. The members of the POE shall not be presently employed or retained by the NHL, NHLPA, or any club, and may not serve as a concurrent member of the Joint Health and Safety Committee or the standard method of procedure. I'm guessing SMOP, folks. Yeah, I'm guessing I'm just guessing. I could be wrong. If I am, somebody please point it out. I'm guessing SMOP, because I worked in a hospital, is standard method of procedure. I'm just guessing from a legal term. So, if you look at this, the league picks a player, the NHLPA picks a player. God, they don't trust each other, eh? Because nobody gets a chance to pick the 3rd. And those 2, okay, experts pick a 3rd expert who is basically the guy that has the final decision, which is kind of the right way to do it, if you think about it. So when it comes to this whole thing with Jack, okay, and I'm going to not touch on this too much longer. We got a game today. We got other things to worry about. But when it comes to this whole thing on Jack now and this whole mess is, did we do everything that you just read there with me, did we do all that stuff? I guarantee the Sabres did, and I guarantee other general managers around the league know we did, and I guarantee other teams' owners know we did, and I guarantee the players of the NHL know we did, and I guarantee there's players in the NHL that said, this guy in Buffalo, he just won't stop, because this kind of thing with Jack Eichel, okay, it can cause a real rift with the NHL and NHLPA. Forget the whole just image of the NHL guys. Think about the rift this can cause for when the collective bargaining agreement is due up again, and all this crap has started, and other players want to jump on the bandwagon with Jack as victims. Like Taylor Hall comes to mind as a guy that would do it. Like, there's guys that will do this stuff and jump on it. And of course, the majority of the league know. They will listen to the team and go get surgery and get it done, like they've always done. But when you got guys that are starting a revolution of their own, there's always guys, I won't mention Robin Leonard's name, but there's always guys out there that want to jump on the bandwagon and shit disturb. There is. And you're going to have fans that have no clue about any of this say, the Sabres are wrong. Just because that's what social media does. They pick on, if we had 50 wins last year, everybody would be saying, I hope the Sabres stick to their guns. This is the way it works out there. Telling you right now, okay, what we have to do is what we're doing, which is not bend, go legal. That's it. This is a legal situation now. This isn't a moral situation anymore. This is turned in now to a legal situation the minute he files that grievance. The minute he does that, folks, it's a legal situation. And the Sabres are legally in the right, and we know it. And that's where that stands, because there's going to be other things I can pull out from the CBA that we've done. I guarantee we've done all this stuff. I guarantee that we did the appropriate measures when it comes to this guy getting checked. And what's the first thing he did? I'm leaving Buffalo, I'm going somewhere else to check, and he does this during a whole pandemic. And like, you know, what do you think? That we're going to send you to a doctor, Jack, that is going to like what? Open you up and say, I can't put you back together again? You know, look, I get the players should have more rights in certain areas, but in this area, when it comes to the money invested, no. If you don't, then you know what? And people say, well, he should be able to do what he wants. He can. For you opposing fans that think he should have the right to go and do an operation, he does. He does. You're forgetting that. He does. He can do it today if he wants. But then he gets suspended without pay. So you tell me, folks, you tell me, what's more important to Jack, his money or his health? Right now, it looks to me like his money. On that note, folks, I'm done with this. Let's get to today's game. I'll see you in the next video.